Hey, so I'm out of the property right now, taking me a little break. Fucking digging a hole is actually not as easy as you'd think. So, I'm here with the post hole digger. I borrowed I got a 100-foot tape measure and measured 80 feet from that pole over. Found my mark and I'm gonna put it right here. It might have been a little bit farther over, but I'm gonna put it right here. And digging up the soil. It's supposed to start raining later this weekend, but I'm gonna do what I can. Weather's nice right now. I got some surveying stakes, and flagging tape. I'm gonna go out and try and mark the property a little bit better about, like, this is where this is gonna be, this is that. Also got the tape to mark the trees that we want to keep, so that the rest of them can come down. The missus is supposed to be coming up this next week, anywhere between Monday and Wednesday, and she's gonna bring the in-laws. So that's gonna be interesting. Get them out here, see what they think. I already know what they think, but we'll see. But we'll get it ready. Managed to get a more permanent position at my job. I got a nice 3 to 5 year gig lined up. Supposed to kick off not next week, but the week after that. 5-6 days a week, pulling home anywhere between 15 to $2,000 a week. So that'll be nice. That'll definitely help this expedite a lot faster. Me and the missus sat down. We had talks and whatnot. We've got our game plans and what we're gonna do. As far as out on the property today, I'm a dwarf. I'm a diggy hole pretty much. I'm gonna dig this hole. I gotta get it 4 feet deep, which is a lot to do with a post hole digger, but I'm saving money where I can, so sweat equity. I'm gonna take my generator. I'm gonna put it in the car, take it to a little bit more better place, more gooder. And I'll probably end up throwing the panel in the back of my car as well. And, well, depending on how stupid I feel, I got that rain barrel that I need to get cleaned out. I might strap it to the back of my car. I don't know if I'm gonna do that yet or not, but I need to start getting some of this shit done. It's mid-January. We've had unusually warm weather. I mean, we've had days that have been 80 fucking degrees in January. Now, I know I'm in the South. That's still fucking weird. But they're saying that next couple of weeks we're going to have some snowstorms come through. So that'll be a nice change of pace. I think I found a truck I'm going to buy, not anytime soon. F-150 from Texas, 200,000 miles. It's a relatively new one. Newer one. I think it's a 2018. I'm not sure. I'm gonna go double check myself today. Guy was driving it from Texas, got here up in the Appalachians. He was I think I heard he was pulling a camper and his engine died on him. And he got to the yard and they looked at it and the owner just said, "Fuck it, I'll buy a new one." I don't know what the fuck he does for a living, but more power to him. So he sold it to the junkyard and went and bought a new one. The junkyard took it, looked at it, and was like, "Well, you blew the turbos." And so they pulled one turbo out. It was completely shot. The other one got fucked up from the other one failing, and it had just pumped a whole bunch of oil into the exhaust and just kind of fucked everything up. But it was a relatively, from what I understand, simple fix of swap the turbos out, blow out the exhaust, and then just burn the remaining oil out of it. It's running, got 200 and some odd thousand miles on it, which is not great, but what I think I'm going to do is for $12,000, I'm going to buy this pickup truck, and then I'm looking around, I'm guesstimating. I haven't gotten any quotes yet, so mechanics, don't come at me unless you know of a cheaper option, but from what I've heard, to rebuild an engine makes it basically brand new again. Mostly, sort of, kind of. And that costs anywhere between $10,000 and $20,000 to do, depending. So, buy the truck. I'm going to work on getting this property taken care of. And in the meantime, I'm going to save up $15,000 and work on getting the pickup truck's engine rebuilt. While I'm doing that, I'm going to be majoritively, 75% of my effort is going to go into getting the tiny home that my neighbors down the way are selling. It just needs a sun's out. It just needs a shower kit put in and to be moved onto my property. Already built out, electric, water, plumbing, the whole kit and caboodle. It's actually really nice. They want $20,000 for it. I figure $30,000. Buy it for $20,000. That gives me $10,000 to move it. Maybe 150 yards, 200 yards. Not very far. Something's gonna break. Always does. Plus put a shower kit in it. It does not have a washer dryer hookup, which sun, no good place. Which is not great for me, but I'll live. Laundromat's right down the road, about 15 minutes. It ain't gonna be the end of the fucking world. I could fucking get a washer hookup put in, and I'm gonna put a laundry line out here anyway. So if it takes a little bit of time, it takes a little bit of time, but at least I got something a little bit in my camper, bless her soul. But that'll be a little bit more of a permanent situation. Mrs. is going to move in with me at that point in time, hopefully. If not, her and I are going to have to have a conversation about what's going on. I need to reshape my beard, it looks like. Anyway, that's what I got going on. Digging a hole, marking out where everything's going to go. About $1,000 still shy of the having electric out here. Does that help? Nope, not at all. Damn, that's tiring. I'm just gonna have to deal with the sun. I'll block it with my big head. But it's $500 for the application fee. That gets me a transformer hung on the pole and lines run to my pole and all that taken care of. It's going to take care, it's probably, from what I've looked around, going to cost me about $300 for my pole. 20 foot 6x6 treated lumber. So $300 plus delivery for that. 5 and 3 is 8. You're probably looking at, I don't know, something's gonna break, so maybe another $100 in parts and miscellaneous fees and this and that, probably another $100. And so 8, 9, 10, that's $1,000. So I figure if I got $1,000, that's going to be good enough to get that done. I also forgot to mention the concrete. I got to get the concrete to cement this motherfucker in. I'm going to have to come out here with a buddy of mine, and we're going to have to clear some trees. Got too many damn trees in the way, so we're going to start taking them down. We got a lot of trees on the property to deal with. So if nothing else, we just need to get them down this year. That way next year, what I'm going to work on doing is Harbor Freight has got a hand crank hydraulic wood splitter. And I'm going to go buy it and a couple of sawhorses, mount them up so that I can split wood. I then have to get a chainsaw myself so I can start cutting the lumber up to size. And then me and the Mrs. 2 Liter are going to come out here, and I'm going to cut and split. She's going to split and stack. We're not really sure what she can and cannot handle right now, but we do know that whether she likes it or not, she can handle stacking wood, and she has admitted that she needs to kind of gung-ho up, for lack of a better way to phrase it, and worst comes to worst, she can stack wood. I know she's excited, but having stacked wood, I know she's not going to be for long. But that'll get her a little bit more involved out here. You might even see her in some of the videos. Just don't expect her to say a whole lot. Let's see. Sometime this year, I'm going to have to go out to Vegas a couple of times. I've got the third year conference for my job out in Vegas, even though technically I'm a fourth year. Because of COVID last year, it was canceled. So, for lack of a better way to phrase it, I'm on the rollover list to go out there. And I've got my rigging, I've got my CPR first, I got everything else I need to go get my steam and gas turbine certifications out in Vegas. Currently, it's the nearest training center to my location that has one. There is a training center being built in my state of Tennessee, that will have them. But what we will have and what we do have are very different things. They're saying that training center is supposed to start being open for training and classes this year. From what I've heard, my next set of training classes in the second quarter of this year are supposed to happen at that facility. We're not holding our breath. We don't see it happening. It's mostly up. We might be out there. I don't know, but it's going to take a while before everything gets installed and whatnot. I think the last time I looked, the parking lot wasn't even finished. Now, I know that ain't no big thing, but still. Other news, I need to fix my driveway. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I don't know what I'm going to do that. I don't know how I'm going to do that. But I'm going to do that. I've got a general idea of what I want to do. Whether I can do it or not remains to be seen. This year is going to be very interesting, especially if what I'm hearing from my coworkers out where I'm going, even if I get 50% of what they say that I'm going to get, my maths on the conservative side says I'm going to be making $75,000 a year. They're out there saying, oh, you're going to make $110,000 a year easy. You're going to be bringing home or 2,000, 2,200, 2,300, $2,500 a week easy. I don't know about all that. My math doesn't math out to that. On the conservative end, I got around $70,000. That's still a very significant jump for me. I've been making, just due to lack of work and not traveling like I should have, I have typically been making somewhere around the realm of $25,000 to $35,000 a year. And to go from that to making close to, if not six figures, will be very interesting. I got some stuff I needed to get taken care of. I got, my teeth are fucked up. Hence why you usually don't see my front teeth. They're really high up. Best I can figure, I probably should have had braces when I was a kid and didn't. So I need to get with the dentist on that. I got some cavities that need filling, a couple of teeth that need extracting. I already talked to a dentist. That's going to cost about $5,000. Why dental work is so expensive, I don't know. Bentis the dentist, if you could help a fat guy out, I'd appreciate it, and explain in a video why filling a bunch of cavities and pulling two teeth are going to cost $5,000. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's literally going to cost half the value of my property to fix my face. I don't know. I have been a little bad. I've been working on losing some weight. Fat man over here. I measured myself recently, and I have put a few inches back on. I stepped on a scale. Scale stayed at the same weight, but putting the inches back on means I was gaining weight again. I have asked my doctor. He doesn't know. He don't care. He says as long as the clothes are continuing to fit better and you're going down in sizes, we don't really care. Keep doing what you're doing. If the scale doesn't move the entire fucking time, I really don't think my doctor cares, as long as I'm dropping the actual body fat. Which, to be fair, is the whole point. But I would like to see the numbers start to drop sooner rather than later. But I was putting some weight back on, so I gotta undo that. And fat boy problems. Since I started losing the fat and whatnot, I've been getting winded a lot easier. Hence why I'm sitting down right now after only having gone about 2 feet down. I was talking with my doctor about that. I got to start doing some cardio. So I'm going to probably start walking and jogging more, trying to get a little bit better into shape. Start doing some crunches and push-ups. And maybe we'll start working in some hangs, pull-up hangs. I got fat boy strength, but I've tried it. I tried it recently. I'm not pulling 320 pounds up currently, and it fucked my shoulder up a little bit when I tried. So I figure start with hangings. I got to work on my, that's going to improve my grip strength. It's going to have to work. I remember it works on my upper body. I remember doing that from weight class. But I'm going to start working on that. But I need to get off my fat ass. Stop talking to y'all. I got 2 more feet worth of hole to dig. I got to measure it, make sure that it's going to fit. Make sure I don't have to widen it any. And then I got to stake out where I'm going to put where I want my mobile home to go. We are going to go with a mobile home. I think we've talked about this before on here. It is cheaper currently for us and for what we want to get a mobile home than it is to build a traditional home. Things might change. We are toying with the idea of living a little bit longer in the tiny home and buying a log cabin and having a log cabin put out here and living in a log cabin in the woods and the mountains. That appeals to us, son. There we go. But we don't know. We haven't made a final decision. Time will tell, money will tell. We've got to first, we got to get things done. I'm probably going to put, I swear I got something coming down with something. I'm probably going to move the garden. I'm going to look at that a little bit today, and if I make a decision or I've come to any kind of realization, we'll talk about it. And we'll just kind of see what happens. I was looking at what I got for seeds and what I want to do, and I came to the conclusion that over on the other side of my driveway, I do not have enough room. There's too many trees, too many roots. It doesn't get enough sun. So my best bet is to actually move it. And what we're thinking is we're going to move it to the back of the property along our fence line. Well, hell, I'll show y'all. Ooh, fat man, gotta stand up. Stop looking at my ugly face. Surveys, fakes, and whatnot, but not a ton of room in here. I mean, as you can see, it gets some sun, but there's a lot of shadow. A lot of big trees in here that are going to have some very big roots that we're going to have to deal with. We're probably still going to make this into our composting area, to be honest, because it's a good spot for it. In all actuality, it is a good spot for it. Yeah, I'm going to see about possibly strapping that to the back of my car. That'll be fun. But this area gets sun right in here a huge portion of the day. And the same is true back in through here. Now, what we're possibly thinking about doing is we don't know exactly where our property line is in here. And this is all abandoned. And I'm going to be trying to pick this up in the future. I definitely want that car. I want that carport. I'm not going to lie. I want that carport. But all of this is relatively flat. It is a bit of a downhill. We are at a bit of a top of a hill right here. But not a lot of trees. We got a tree over here that we're going to cut down. We got a tree over here that we're going to cut down. We're going to probably keep that big fucker right there. But that's going to mainly affect us in the evening and afternoon, like right now, where it'll shade a little bit in the evening. which I got to get with some people and figure out, but a lot of this shit is going to get cleared out. Yes, I know about this tree. It's hung up. I got to figure out how to get it cut. I don't know. I'm going to get some people out here to help me with it, but I don't know. We might cut this big fucker down. I'm not sure. I know we want to keep this big one right in here, but a lot of these thinner ones will probably come down. I've talked with a few people out here, and the general consensus is that is not actually my property line. This right here was just convenience, but the actual property line is right there at that stump. Somewhere around there over to here. So all of this is mine, is what the neighbors have kind of been telling me. I've got to get a professional surveyor out here, and we're going to define the boundary line somewhere in here. I know who owns this land. They're good people. They used to live out here several years ago. They actually had this area really, really nice. But they were an older couple. They started getting sick. The wife had a stroke, and he ended up having a heart attack, and it took an hour and a half for the ambulance to get out here. I don't know what y'all know about strokes, but time is tissue is the saying, because the longer that the stroke goes untreated, potentially the more brain tissue can be damaged. So they came to the conclusion that they needed to move closer to town. They gave this property for their sons to use. Their sons trashed it, from what I understand, and then just upped and vanished. And a really nice piece of property now looks like this because of neglect and abuse. They're not really doing anything with it. They come out about once a week, and when I'm out here, we talk, we have a good time. They're nice people. But I'll probably see about buying it from them. But I've already talked, I might see about buying it from them. That way they get some money and I get the property. And then I'll own all the way down into this valley and partially up that hill. And then it won't matter where my property line is. But I've already talked to them, and they don't really they're not hard up about if I go a little bit over the property line or a little bit not. They're not even out here. He told me one spot that he's particular about. That's where they've buried the family's dogs, and he doesn't want me messing with that, and that's completely understandable. I told him what my initial plan was. He said if I come across them, just rebury them right where they are and stay away from it. And that is a completely reasonable request that I 110% plan to follow. I have no reason not to. And I'm not a dick. I'm not going to say, well, fuck it, I'm going to do what I want to do. No, fuck that. Be nice to your neighbors. You're going to be with them a lot longer than you think. And it doesn't hurt to be on good terms with your neighbors. Even if you don't hardly see them at all, it still does not hurt to be on good terms. So, but I am going to find out where it is, just for my sake of mind, and get that figured out. Like I said, it's somewhere right in there. I'm not a surveyor, but my estimate said it was right there where that stick is sticking up, is where my math came to. But I don't know. I don't really personally care. And it makes it a lot easier because I'm not on this hill where my fertilizer and soil will wash down to them and could create problems for them. If I put it right in here, if it's going to wash down anywhere, it's going to wash down to my property. So my soil will stay on my property and my fertilizer will just move locations. And for anybody who's like, oh, he's using fertilizer, oh Lord, I'm getting cow manure. Organic, grass-fed cow manure. Come at me. I'm not using any quote-unquote chemicals, but I'm doing the exact same damn thing. But I'm going to get some cow manure out here, and I'm going to till a lot of this soil up. Probably going to have to do some stump removal. Oh, well, let me rephrase that. I am going to have to do some stump removals, because what I'm figuring is going from here, following my burn line, stuff's popping up already, and coming about here, about where this rock is. I don't know, that's a good 10 feet. And then going this way till I get to that divot right there. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick that up. There's a bit of a divot, a trail right here. But coming to about here, and then I'm gonna follow it. So this will be like a little path that I use. But I'm gonna, all of this in here, probably to about where that stake is at right there, is gonna be just garden. Of course, like I said, that does create the problem with this tree. Will we keep it? Will we not? I don't know. We got one right behind it that I know we do want to keep. What we're after is, well, kind of like what we got right now. In the summer, when it's hot and the giant fireball in the sky is heating everything up, it's going to cast a shadow over everything, and we're going to be living in there a little bit. So it will keep the sun off of us. And in the winter, it loses its leaves. And when it's cold, the sun shines through and warms up. So we don't have to spend as much effort in the summer to heat or cool the house. And we don't have to spend as much effort in the winter to heat the house because the sun is working with us and not against us. Yeah, this has moved quite a bit. This is blowing around pretty good. You can see where the line was. So the winds are blowing it around. This is good to know. Probably explains why that's not taught. But I'll have to do something about that. But yeah, right in here. Oh Lord, the sun. Right in through here is where we're wanting to build. But I'm gonna get off and stop talking to y'all and start doing some work. The burn has been pretty amazing. We've still got a little bit left, but not nowhere near what we had before. I primarily need to go through now and start taking stuff like this and stacking it and cutting it up. One thing I'm going to do is, I don't know if you can see it, there's a lot of wire fencing that's just laying everywhere. And I mean, there's more over there. There's more right there. There's more over there. There's more over there. It's everywhere. I don't know what the deal is with it, but I own it. And since I own it, I can do what I want with it. So I'm going to probably pull a lot of it up, roll it up, and that's how I'm going to mark out my garden, is by putting that fencing material up around it. And that way I can go, okay, this is my garden area. I need to get some more of the metal poles that you would use for that stuff. Not just for it, but here, I'll show you all what I'm talking about. Thorns. By metal poles like that. Right there. To pretty much do something very similar to that right here. But instead of... Focus, you fuck. Instead of barbed wire, I'm going to do just regular wire for raspberries, blackberries, blueberries, and grapes to grow on. A11 Dig was supposed to come out here and mark utilities along the road. Yeah. I ain't seen no markings. I ain't seen shit. And I can walk right down here because they're supposed to go from that telephone pole to that telephone pole on my side of the road. And they were going to get the utilities marked out, and there ain't a one. And right there, cable route, warning, underground cable. Before digging, blah, 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 please call. They're supposed to do that. Now, one of the things I'm not entirely sure about is there's another one of those right here, bent at a 90, and I'm not entirely sure if that is they're doing or someone else is doing. But, yeah, they were supposed to come out and mark that. If nothing else, I should have a mark in through here for data lines. Well, I don't know about y'all, but I don't see no marks for no damn data lines. I still have not been able to get this fixed. And I'm worried that, I mean, it's not wiggling too bad right now, but we got some storms coming through here. And, I don't know if you could tell, but these lines are sagging a lot. And like I said, every time I come out here, it seems to get worse. I got a lot of dead out here to deal with. I don't know where all that came from. It's been out here since I bought the property, and there's not a lot of stumps. So as best I can figure, somebody dumped this stuff out here, because that tree right there has been totally uprooted and dropped there. And you can see how old some of these are. They have been there for a minute. But I got a lot of debris and whatnot in here, and that's okay because that's just fuel for the fire. One thing I am probably going to do is I think I talked about it in a video. Is right about here. I'm gonna bury something. Right now my current leads are on a defective brand new septic tank that does not hold water. And I'm gonna bury it right here into this hill I got through here and give me a walk-in root cellar. And I think that should be pretty nice. Right here with my property, whatnot. That needs to be fixed. I just noticed this. Sorry, I haven't taken my meds today, so I'm scatterbrained, which might not be helping me very much right now. But I just saw this. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trees all in one stump. And they are all right there. On the bright side, they're relatively straight. And I don't know exactly what they are. If any of you arborists out there know, let me know. This one right here kind of reminds me of a birch. But yeah, that's way too many fucking trunks. So that's gonna have to get taken care of soon, because that's gonna be all kinds of fun. All right, well, I'm gonna let y'all go. I have to get back to work. I've said that like 10 times now, but I've got to. Yep. Like I said, there's metal fencing all over this property. But I'm gonna come out here, I'm gonna start cutting some of this stuff up and splitting it and stacking it, because it's just firewood. I was not alone in this thought. I still gotta go through out here and do a trash pickup one day. But one of the trees I pointed out that we wanted to keep is actually the edge of a old wood stack. At least it would have been a wood stack if the wood had not rotten. But if you see that green bucket, someone stacked wood in through here in between these two trees. And, well, I need to get it off the ground so it doesn't rot away. But, I'm gonna copy that idea. One thing that we have noticed is, get a little better position. Yeah. Right there is the main road in and out of here. Just beyond that is the main road for this area. You can see straight through our property in the fall and winter. Basically, until the greenery comes back, you can see straight through our property. Likewise, you could see straight through to the road over there. So we like our privacy. We don't have a lot of neighbors. That was one of the things that led us to purchasing this property. We don't mind all of the abandoned houses because there's no one to bother us. The raccoons, we can deal with that. And worst comes to worst, we'll take care of the trash ourselves, just so that we don't have to see it. But I digress. We're talking about replacing this wire fence that runs the length of the property with a privacy fence. And then down by the road, along the road, another privacy fence. So that from the road front, you can't see us. That's still in its idea phase. I talked about it a little bit with Mrs. 2 Liter, but we have not actually properly sat down and discussed it, because we've got a little bit more important things on our plate right now than a privacy fence. Privacy fence doesn't do us no good if we're not living out here. So living out here comes first, then comes privacy fence. Got a lot of small brush, small stuff that needs to be taken care of. I will probably come through here with a pair of lompers. If it's not snow the fucked out or something, but I'll probably try and do that next week. I don't know. I should tell you what I should have done. Shoulda, woulda, couldas. I should have done it this week. That's what I should have done, but I didn't. And that's my fault. I was taking a rigging class, and I didn't have to, but I needed to. Yeah, there's some more wire fencing already rolled up right there. But I should have done it this week. I didn't. That's my fault. So next week the weather is supposed to be worse. I mean, it was fucking gorgeous today. Beautiful the day before. Ooh. Deer scat. But yeah, I should have done it. I didn't. That's my fault. That's my bad. So I will have to pay for that. But I'm gonna go through here. Like I said, I'm gonna cut a lot of this smaller shit down, because that will help tremendously with things being more cleared out and easier to get through. I'm also hoping that will also keep more of the sun coming through this year. I got a lot of trees to cut down for a similar reason. I think it's called the Savannah Grasslands Project. I'm not entirely sure. I will link his channel in the description. But there's a YouTuber who talks about native grasslands and controlled fire burns. I learned a lot from watching him. And honestly, I wish I could collab with him, but I ain't got that kind of clout and I ain't got that kind of money. So beggars can't be choosers. To have him come out and him and I figure out what would be good to have out here. But he talks about how the trees will outcompete each other, and some trees and wildlife or wild plants need a fire to come through, because some of the stuff that shoots up real fast doesn't survive a fire, and so it dies, clears out the canopy, and gives sunlight for everything else to come through. And that's why controlled fire burns are actually really good for the environment, because they help clear that out. And so everything can pop up, and that's how you get your really big oak trees and whatnot. At least that was my understanding, so whatever. But I'll link him in the description. And we'll kind of go from there. Like I said, he's got a really good channel. I recommend you check him out. I got a lot of work to do out here still. Right now it feels very rednecky. And that's fair because right now it is very rednecky. Still got trash everywhere. I keep finding more trash for people just throw and dump their shit on my property, which pisses me off, but sometimes it works in my favor. But Dad's gonna have to get out of here sooner rather than later. I'm working with a buddy of mine to take that to a scrap yard and scrap that for cash. Trying to talk my buddy into coming out here and dropping his trailer off, and I can come through and pick all of this type shit up, throw it on his trailer, and we'll take it to the dump yard, and we'll get rid of it at the dump, because I don't mind the cinder blocks. Those are useful. And some things like the electrical panel and this water barrel or rain barrel are very useful. But beer bottles, applesauce jars, not so much. Shoes, chairs. I've seen all kinds of things dumped out here in just the year I've owned this land. But I got a lot of this cleared out. That actually looks really good after the burn. But there's more to be done. All right. Peace.